What's up, Corey Gano here. Welcome to Corey's Big Adventure. I actually got some sleep last night. A good buddy from last camp spot that I was at, I'll tell you about that in a bit, gave me some Benadryl, and they helped me out so much for sleep, excuse me. And a couple things happened there. It really didn't have to happen, but once again, lack of sleep and my craziness. And I'm trying to, so one of the many reasons why I went on this trip, change my mindset and hopefully handle things better. And, anyways, we'll get to the point. Recap on so many days you guys missed out on my journey. So, first off, I'd like to talk about some gypsies that I met. And they're freaking awesome. Literally, I'm not even joking, the one I swore read my mind. Just gave me this little stone. It was kind of cool. It was supposed to, I don't forget what it's for. I apologize. But it was a pleasure meeting them. They're really cool. The one's like, hey, you need to let the guilt go. And I'm like, whoa, okay. You know when you hear something that you're supposed to hear and it kind of like irritates you because you're supposed to hear it? Yeah, I guess that means that it sinks in. But yeah, it was cool. While I was there, I saw a bunch of animals, and the squirrels kept on running up to me, so I gave them some chips. They were awesome. Ravens, they kept flying around me, and pretty much the whole trip. That's been interesting. It was interesting. One of the cool gypsies, she's like, it's prophetic. It's like they're watch you over you and stuff. That's cool, because no one wants to be alone. So that's sweet. Met so many cool people along the way, people I've never met, and honestly, I've met over 100 people, and only like 5 or 6 that were kind of rough and want to beat me up. And I'll get to that too. So lack of rest and lack of sleep has been a lot, one of my main problems on this trip. It's really dangerous. I don't recommend anybody traveling as far as I have unless you get good rest, because 1 hour sleep a day, sometimes you lose your mind. And it came to a point where actually a day or so ago, I ended up doing 2 days worth of work, literally going in circles, and it was bad. Like, I didn't even notice. I went up huge hills, down huge hills, the same, basically backtracked for many miles. Back on track. I'm like New York State now, and I'm really, really close to Connecticut. I'm trying to decide what I want to do right now, and this is a really crazy spot and time to change my mind, but I don't know. We'll see. It's either Cape Cod or somewhere else. I don't know. Oh yeah, so the last camp spot I was at, I messed up pretty bad, and lack of sleep once again kind of messed up some chances for me. But moving on, I'm gonna try to find another job. So basically, I had a job lined up, and it was at the time it was going to help me a lot for the rest of my trip. It would pay for it, and so lack of sleep, and I just got edgy, and I ended up getting snippy and messed up my chances. I'm not going to get totally into it, but they gave me 1 day to stay there, and they said I could leave in the morning. I didn't have a tent, so long story short, I ended up weirding some people out. I was minding my own damn business, but apparently this one fella, he's like, oh, you're noiding us out. I'm like, dude, I'm just sitting on my camp spot. Don't have a tent. I would be in my tent if I had one. I was sitting on the picnic table you know, and I felt weirded out too, because I felt like their energy, like they were getting irritated. So I walked away. I went across the parking lot to sit on the steps of the office, and long story short, the fella came over there staring at me, and like I knew something was up, something wasn't right. So he looked at me, walked halfway up to me, and walked back to my campsite. So at that point, I knew something was wrong. And I walked, followed him from a distance, and I noticed one of his buddies, I don't know who they are, but one of his buddies was messing with my bike, and the dude was trying to take my damn ratchet strap off and get into my stuff. And I confronted the one fella, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing with my stuff? He looked at me all like, and walked away. The other snippy guy, about my size, walked up to me, and he's like, got in my face, and I was getting a little edgy at this point. But I didn't know if they had any guns. I didn't have nothing. So I chose to remain peaceful, because I was outnumbered. There was a big dude. I don't know, he had to weigh like 200 pounds or something. And he was actually trying to separate his boys from me. And there's this chick, I don't know if she worked there or not. She's like, everything's going to be fine. You just calm down. Just everything's going to be fine. And I'm like, no, everything's not going to be fine. You expect me to stay here and, possibly get stabbed or jumped in my sleep? No. And I told him, I'm like, I didn't want any problems. I was just minding my own business. And I told him, I'm like, I'm sorry that I annoyed you out, but I had PTSD and other problems like that. So, I'm sorry. And I'm not here to cause no problems. I'm just here to, stay here and leave in the morning. That was obviously not good they didn't take that. They threatened me, said a few things. So, at that point, I bounced. And the worst part about it, which, at the time, I don't care about at this point, but, like, there was, care package that my buddies were going to send me that would have helped me a lot. I had no chance to even go back there, because I didn't want to deal with nothing. So, hopefully, I could get it sent somewhere else. I don't know. But at this point, I digress. So, I ended up bouncing, because they said, he's like, if I see you, I'm going to mess you up. I'm like, so I didn't know if they had any guns or not. So I figured if they do, I would rather leave and it's crazy, but I would rather leave and something happen to me than them pull out a gun in front of families and shit. Sorry, my language. Yeah. So I got out of there. I was riding around random places for a while. I had no money, so I ended up sleeping on a bank behind a diner. And it ended up raining on me. I got all my stuff soaked. My clothes ended up stinking like crazy and moldy. The next day, I only got an hour of sleep that day too. After that, I ended up pedaling, lacking sleep. I didn't know what the heck was going on. Delirious, for days and days. So, yeah, I ended up meeting, after, miles and miles after that, I met these fellas, about a day or so ago. And, they were great. They, one fella, he let me play his guitar, and it was cool. It was really nice. We got to conversate, and I'm telling you, like, every person that I've met on this way, like this journey, it gives me hope. Because in this society that is pushing fear and making people look a certain way when they're not. Every individual's unique in their own way. So, if you're being continuously pushed by fear and confusion and by the media and everything, we're gonna have this false outlook on people, and it's wrong. And I think it's beautiful that I did this, and I did this journey because my outlook on individuals is so different. I mean, you obviously gotta feel, you know, you gotta pay attention. You gotta, like, energy is the only way I can express it, like, explain it. So many good people. I've met over 100 people that were completely kind and generous, and only like 3, 4, or 5 that wanted me messed up for no reason. See, that's my point. People are just people. We don't have to, if we would just stop thinking so much, and I have that problem too, but like, don't judge. That's basically what I'm saying. Because you don't know somebody, and because you could be like, "Oh man, I'm freaked out." That, and out of nowhere, our own fears. If we destroy our fears with kindness, like, seriously, don't have to be afraid all the damn time. Embrace every moment, because you never know who's going to be there for you. There's always people that care. Not everybody, I mean, there's good and bad in everybody, but I'm telling you what, I've met more nice people, more kind people than anything. And, yeah, there's so many cool things that have happened. I'll keep y'all posted. Some point today, I might not go to Cape Cod. I might switch it up. But I will let y'all know. Hang in there, be kind, be true to yourselves. Have an awesome day. Click the subscribe link below. And, yeah, keep trucking. Later.